Hey Gemini, this is your August 2022 soul story. If you have sun, rising or moon in the sign, this is your reading. My name is Romy. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I'm going to give you some dates and messages that I hope are going to empower you as you move through this month. Now, if you are regular to the channel, just note our new format for August. We're going to open up with the energy of the Magician. I like this for you because as we open into August, we've got some very unpredictable, quite vibrant, volatile energy with Mars conjunct Uranus and the North Node. And you're going to need to be tenacious. You're going to need to use everything that you've got in your kit bag to be able to maintain some sense of balance and focus and truth, because it'd be very easy to start to discount or to feel doubtful about progress or about where something truly sits. In fact, the experience of August kind of sets us on this roller coaster of highs and lows, where one minute you're feeling that sense of true alignment, things coming together, feeling more certain and at peace within the self, and then very quickly it seems to get thrown out the window and you feel like you're taking 10 steps back. Your Magician says you can almost collapse that timeline and come right back to a state of presence and realize your true power in the moment. And I need you to remember that as you move through this month ahead. There is this requirement for you to let go and to relinquish your fixation or your focus upon something in order for the energy to move. The universe knows what it's doing this month. And if you feel like you're in this position where you're trying to justify, to prove, or to engage, it's not where it's supposed to sit for you. But what you do need to do is to accept how you feel, what that means for you, where it's coming from, and where it's trying to take you. So even when things through the course of August don't necessarily feel easy, it's not an indication for you to give up or to feel it's not for you. But there is an invitation very much for August Gemini that you elevate your language, you elevate your thinking, and you elevate your energy. Because there's opportunities kind of being littered on the path. And the Nine of Pentacles indicates that it's a time to kind of recognize what sits around you and how you make the most of that with the Magician energy. You can almost, instead of trying to add new things or go out searching for something else, it feels like what you have around you has more to give. So pay attention to where that might be coming up. Now, as we make our way towards the 8th of the month, we will harness that energy of Lionsgate. The portal already open right now. What does that mean? The Earth and the Sun are aligning with Sirius and the Galactic Center. It's a time of year where we really are ascending. We really are receiving new information, coming up against new energy. It's never been felt before, and that can feel disruptive. So as powerful as it is for bringing in material manifestations, which is showing up strongly here in the first part of your reading, Gemini, there's also the remembrance that it's going to stretch you beyond what you feel are your perceived limits. And sometimes that can put us in that sort of almost stage fright energy where we feel almost in a sense of limbo or stuck. Be careful and be mindful of where your energy, your words even, are still using that I'm still waiting, I'm still stuck, this still isn't right, this still hasn't happened. That's kind of an old programming that we're looking to clear out at this moment. This version of you is being asked to grow so fast. So fast, it's feeling like it's taking your breath away, but you've got to remember that any discomfort is very temporary. The wisdom, the changes that are taking place within you through the course of August, they're permanent. So you can't wait for this chaos to subside, because we got the memo, right? It's non-stop. There's no let up through the course of this year for that chaos. So we have to figure out a way to seek those pockets of peace continuously. And how do we do that? Energy of Death says we have to allow the change to keep happening within us, those rebirths to take place. There's like a purification energy here. Just make sure you don't purge too much. Really easy to just say, I want to burn it to the ground, or I want to move away from this, I want to let go of this. And all of that urgency coming through the beginning of the month is going to be asking you to do that. But if you're not careful, you can make one grand sweep. So this is about also being mindful. When you find yourself to come back into the present moment, you'll realize that even where things are complicated, which they will be this month, yeah, if you were trying to explain it to somebody, I think they would struggle to grasp some of the complexity of a situation or of what you're feeling or of all of the things that are a part of that. But it doesn't mean that complicated can't bring joy. It doesn't mean that complicated can't be fulfilling or rewarding. You can come alive in the moment of that complexity as long as you're finding yourself in that state of presence, so you understand and appreciate what it's here to teach you, what the experience is for you. And as part of that, you've got to be really honest with yourself about what it is that you're truly feeling. Because if we're not careful, we can start to think those thoughts that really start to trigger us or feel like they're almost causing that unhealthy attachment to be perpetuated. The devil has a really important message for you through the course of this month. It's actually about you learning to take control or take command of something that has, up to this point, been the thing that has constantly reared its ugly head every time you've been about to make a major breakthrough. If you start to understand your pattern, really, you understand your process, then there's something truly liberating about August coming through for you, you know? It's like when you do something that feels uncomfortable and change happens, you might enjoy it, you get the high, and then you want to sink back right into that sense of paranoia or that insecurity. So there's something about the pattern that you have in place in connection to change that's being highlighted because it's ready to be released and cleared out, because the new energy that you're experiencing, it doesn't work with that. It doesn't align with it. And so if you don't let that go, it's like you've got one foot in both camps, and it just kind of is going to feel like you're being pulled apart. Now, we've got the full moon coming in Aquarius on the 11th of the month. Those full moons bring about revelation. There's powerful information that we need to know. You might not want to receive it, but there's something really important about putting you in. It's like being informed, and when we're informed, we can make better choices and decisions. Now, Venus is going to be coming into Leo at that same day on the 11th, and with that fire energy, I feel like we're also looking at major investments. You know, Venus ruling our relationship to money. Leo season for you about third house, so you're communicating something. You might need to get some outside advice, or it's certainly important that you are looking at all, like poring over all of the details, and sometimes that moon can kind of obscure things temporarily. I do feel everything will come back into its right order. King of Swords brings in, for me actually, a really clarifying, powerful position, especially next to the devil, because I feel like this is what we need to take control of him. If we're looking for an archetypal energy to really get a handle and put him in his place, then that King of Swords is coming through there. There's a dependability in terms of his absolute precision with being able to highlight, this is the thing that's causing you an issue, Gemini. So that's going to be coming to you, whether it comes through your higher self or someone is helping and calling that out for you. You know, you will bear witness to it, but it is your job to make sure that you deal with it. Now, we've got a really auspicious date coming in on the 18th where Venus will trine with Jupiter, both in fire signs. There's something deeply intense and passionate coming in around that moment. It feels to me that when you're liberated, there's this space that's created for you, and all of a sudden, like, you know, there's this new idea that forms, there's this thing that shows up, there's this connection that almost gets highlighted, and something goes on the next level. So as we start to embrace what that next level feels like, we realize how important it was to have let go of that pattern. Otherwise you would have sabotaged it, you would have self-sabotaged this, and that's not where it's supposed to be for you. Now, Mars is going to be shifting into your sign on the 20th of this month. It's important. You're going to get a green light. Things are going to start to work favorably here. You might feel a little bit mistrustful, even tired, a bit weary, like I'm not sure I've got what it takes to keep pushing through here. But you must, because as Mars is direct right now, we need to take advantage of this energy, because in the weeks to come, when it goes retrograde in your sign, we lose a little bit of that edge. Now there's a chance to take some time out and to rest and to go back over the work that we've done, what we've implemented, what's taken place. But if you feel the urgency, if you feel the inspiration towards doing something in August, make the time for yourself. Even if that means sacrificing on something else, it will be worthwhile. You'll look back and be glad that you just invested in it in that moment, okay? Sun in Virgo comes in on the 22nd, and the new moon in Virgo taking place on the 27th of this month. Fourth house energy for you. Remember, we have to inner parent during that season. We have to take stock of what's making us feel safe, because there's a lot changing. And with all of this purging and purification energy around you, you can't afford to be placed in situations and environments that feel wildly chaotic or people are asking too much of you. It's going to require some peace and some solace. But what we're seeing here is that there's an enormous kind of capacity for you to shed a skin and come out feeling like an entirely different person by the time you get to the end of August, having really dealt with some of your own inner demons in a way that's quite profound, especially as Uranus shifts retrograde on the 24th, and on the same day Venus is going to trine with Chiron, bringing in some spontaneous shifts for you. You're really going to identify the things that are toxic, and you're really going to lay them to rest. Now, we normally do our 9-card block in our soul stories. We will continue to do this, but this month, Gemini, I'm going to leave the cards unturned so that we can cover these off in our extended reading. If you're new to the channel, the extended reading is listed in the comment and the description box underneath, okay? So let's go ahead and pull your oracle cards as well for this month, Gemini. So our astrology deck here. All the decks I use, by the way, are listed again for your reference. We have, oh nice, Mars. Okay, Mars in your sign coming in on the 20th. Big date to look out for through August for you, okay? But we'll dive into that a little more in the extended. And this is Life Soul Vision, my new oracle deck that is coming out. It is available for pre-order. If you want to get insight of the full deck preview, please hop over to my website listed below. If you've already invested, thank you so much. Can't wait for you to start experiencing this. And let's pull you a message. Let's see what we have. Waterfalls of white light. Oh, I love that for you this month. Okay, we're going to cover that in our extended reading. Now, as usual, I'm going to invite you to think about a personal question, Gemini. And pull a couple of cards here, and let's just go ahead and clarify this main reading, starting with the Magician. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords coming in here, and the Eight of Pentacles. The 9 is bringing in Temperance and Strength. Hierophant with that energy of death, and the Ace of Wands. About this Devil, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. Just going to pull one more there. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, our King of Swords, Queen. Oh, wow, King, Queen, and the Devil. Interesting. Gemini, thanks so much for tuning in for your August soul story. If you are joining me for the extended, I will continue this conversation with you there. Otherwise, I wish you beautiful blessings for this month. You take care. I'll see you next time.